In this module, we are going to talk about nested if function. Nested if function means if within another if function, which means if statement inside another if statement. So now we have a function, if function, which we have learned in the last module. And now we want to nest if functions together to solve a problem. And this kind of nesting is allowed up to 64. So we can have a 64 nested function, 64 ifs nested within each other, right? There are a lot of it, though. Not required most of the time, but that's the limit. If it's a very, very complex problem, then they allow you to have 64 different, 64 nesting. Now, what is that nesting? Let us see. Now, I need to calculate the commission for this sales for the salesperson belonging to different region. This is the sale figure. We want to get, they are supposed to get some commission based on the region they are in. So people who are in the north region would get a 5% commission, south 5.5%, east 6%, and west 6.5%. So there is no fixed commission for all. Depending on the region, you need to apply the commission on the sales. Now this is a perfect candidate for using nested if. Let me tell you why. I'll select this cell where I want to write the formula and then I'll copy it. So this is the cell where I'll create the formula and then I'll use that formula in other cells. So let's start. So we'll go to the formula, go to my insert function, and here in the logical I have the if function. So I'll pick up that if and say okay. So logical test, first we need to do is whether this region is equal to this, not or not. And that should not change when I drag it. So I make this absolute. But that I should not make absolute because when I drag it should refer to this cell and then this cell and this cell and so on. But for not, it should always refer to this cell. If that is not, which is false, it evaluates that to false. Anyway, it doesn't matter because tomorrow I can put not here. If the value is true, then what? Then my sale figure, that is my sales, I need to give it a commission. So I'll multiply it with this 5%. Now this also need to be fixed. So I'll put a function F4 here. So that's it. So if it is true, it should be this much. False. If it is false, that means if it is not north, then it can be south, it can be east, it can be west. So there are three conditions more to be checked. So in that case, I cannot write anything in the false except I can start another if to do another logical test. And that is what is called as nested if. So I'll just keep this cursor on the if, let it blink there, right? That blinking should happen there. And then if I move to my name bar here, I'll see this if, I'll just select and another clean function palette comes up. And here if you look at this, you will find that this is the if function within an if function. So this is what is called as nested if. I'll do the logical test once again, same thing. Select this. If it is equal to south, which is again false of course, and make this F4. And if it is true, then I need to find out the commission of this into this. Again, I need to make this F4. And if it is false, again, I have to do another check because there are two more remaining, east and west. So again, I'll go here, click on if. Another third nesting starts here. So this is one, this is first nesting, this is the second nesting in fact. Then again, do a logical test. I'll select this. If that is equal to east, and this time it's true because that's east. So in say function F4, then I need to calculate multiply the sales with 6%. And that is basically my fixed one. And if it is false, I can leave it false like that and calculate it. But because the only region left is now west. So it has to be west. If it is not north, south or east, it has to be west. So for west, what it is sales into 6.5%. If you want, you can go for another nest and, you can check the west as well. So here we are thinking in an obvious way, being optimistic that, okay, if it is not east, west, if it is not east, north and south, then of course it has to be west. And in that basis, we are doing this. So you can look at this formula here. So it has one if, then another if, and then another if. So we have done some nesting here, which is said to be nested if, and said okay. So now it calculates 6% of this, which is this much. If it is east, now I drag it down, and based on each of these regions, it picks up the correct commission and apply it. That means if you look at 6%, if I say is equal to 6% of this, what it should be? Okay, sorry, my mistake. 6%, so that's west. So not 6%, it's west. No, west is 6.5%. 6.5% of this is what? Correct. That means east. East is 6%. So 6% of this is what? Correct. North. North means 5%. So I'll say is equal to 5% of this is what? So I'm getting the correct answer, right? So my formula is correct. Just checked it up for you just to show that these are correct answers. So have a look once again in the formula. This is the formula. It's better to look at here. So that's the nested if functions we have, and it can allow up to 64 different, though it becomes very complex. Not recommended. You should find some other way, in fact. However, it does allow you to use 64 nesting.